Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Math with Mr. W. And what's our topic today? Well, it's geometry, but it's a special part of geometry. These first three terms are kind of the beginning of geometry because it's the initial things that make up geometry. It's the point, the line, and a plane. Now, when we're talking about this with our youngsters, how do we talk to them about this? Do we just simply say a point is this, a line is this, a plane is this? Or do we allow them to think about what they are? I suggest that you go the last way. Ask them what they think about a point is. What is a point? Now, as third graders, this may seem a little bit tough for them to understand, but maybe not. So again, ask them to think about what a point is. And some of them will say maybe a dot, and that's a good thing. A dot. You might ask them, how small is your dot? Well, I make it with my pencil. Okay, so that's pretty small. Could it be smaller than the one you make with your pencil? Yes. Good. So the idea here is that you're getting them to realize that that point can be really, really small. Because a point holds position. That's what you want them to understand. It holds position. That's what it does. It's like a place on a map. It holds position. Does it have any dimension? Does it have any length, width, height? No. There is no dimension. There's no dimension. So we have something that has no dimension. It's just there. It exists as a place. Okay? So this is again, it's kind of tough for them to see, but perhaps in time, you just have to reinforce it. Okay? It's not defined, it's undefined. And we'll see all of these as being undefined. They're undefined terms. They just have dimension or no dimension. Now, a line goes infinitely in both directions. It has one dimension. One dimension. That's all it has. It can be a barrier between two things, but it just has length. That's all it has. It doesn't have width. It only has length. And that's hard for people to understand. Try and imagine that. Something that only has length. So when you draw the line on your paper, you're drawing something that has length, but it doesn't have any width or no height. It only has one dimension. And now the plane, which is often described as a parallelogram like this, has two dimensions. Two dimensions. A flat surface. A flat surface. A flat surface, like put your hands on a window. That's a flat surface. That's two dimensions. It has length, it has width, but it doesn't have any depth. It's like you're standing on a floor and I look down and I see length and width, but do I see depth in that floor? I don't see it. It's there, but I don't see it because it's on the top. But there is depth because we live in a three-dimensional world. But a plane has only two dimensions, length and width. There's no up. Now, finally, we talk about symmetry. And symmetry is easy to understand. If we draw our line, what happens on one side is going to happen on the other. So, what's on one side of the line will happen on the other side of the line. That's symmetry. See, oftentimes we think of ourselves as being symmetric if we draw a line down through the middle of our bodies. But we really aren't. We're asymmetric. If we were to take a picture of our right side and flip it over and then look at us as being symmetric, we would look kind of funny. We look more like Dick Tracy's cartoon characters. But we are asymmetric. But we're very close to being symmetric. But so symmetry means what's on one side of the line is on the other side of the line. And that doesn't mean the line has to be vertical. It could be a horizontal line. It could be a diagonal line. But no matter where the line is, what's happening on one side is also happening on the other. 4 terms that you're going to run into in geometry. But remember, when you're talking about point, line, and plane, allow your students to get a sense of what they mean, but they are undefined. Symmetry, on the other hand, is fully defined as things that happen on one side of a line have to happen exactly on the other side. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great day, and see you next time on Math with Mr. W.